Today marks the 9-year anniversary of this YouTube channel, so I thought we could do a little speedrun Q&A. I asked you some questions. It's about 500, so we'll see if I can get through as many as possible. Let's get started. When will you do a reptile room tour? I still don't have a reptile room because I still don't have a house. Are you a furry? Refer to the video titled, Am I a Furry? What are Potato's thoughts on racism? I found on my credit card he ordered 11 of 2 Mads inward passes. Where's the uncensored version of the wisdom teeth removal? Locked away safely and securely. Forever. How'd you get into this whole reptile thing? I like nature and animals, and in North Carolina there's a lot of wild reptiles, so it's what I'd always find, and I filmed everything, so I started filming reptiles, and then I realized you could buy exotic ones, and I did just that. How do I submit my enclosure for review if I don't have social media? I mean, you made a YouTube comment, you can just make an Instagram too. How many reptiles do you think you've kept throughout your entire life? Well, personals, about 20 or so. Ones that have come in and that have gone back out through the rehoming is a little over 500. Are you rich? I don't think so, but I'd like to be. Thoughts on Overwatch 2? What's wrong with Overwatch? What happened? Where's Overwatch 1? Overwatch Deep Dive, new maps and dynamic environments. I don't know. I'll probably try it. Do you think you'll continue your channel for another 9+ years, or can you see yourself doing something else? I mean, yeah, I like doing lots of different things at once. I think I'll most likely still be making videos. I wouldn't be surprised if YouTube's still around. I'd actually expect that it will be. I think it's a pretty solid platform, and my videos, if I am making, will be drastically different. I'll be turning 30 years old, but we'll see what I'm up to then. I'm sure I'll be doing something public at least. If you could get one big cat, what would it be? I kind of just prefer a small cat, I don't know. I'll stick to the small ones. Do you think snails are cute? Yeah. When will Emerald Scales be up and running at full capacity? At the very latest, the end of spring, I guess, because my taxes will be done by April, and then hopefully I can close on a house a few months after that. But it'll be my first time. Who knows how that'll go, so no promises. No promises. What is your favorite reptile you own? I mean, Stan is not just the mascot, he's also my favorite. What are your opinions on invertebrates, especially millipedes? I'm not a fan myself. I do sell millipedes through Emerald Scales, but they're okay. I don't know. I don't mind them. How do you keep insects alive for your reptiles? I kind of just throw vegetables at them. Nothing fancy. Literally just whatever vegetable a reptile can eat, I just give to the insects, and that's about it. Because I don't breed them, so they don't need specific temperatures or whatever. I just gotta keep them alive. If you didn't have YouTube as a job and never got into taking care of reptiles, I'm such a bad reader, where do you think you'd be right now? Most likely, I thought I'd maybe go into freelance photography, video editing, something media-based like that. I expected I'd more likely have a media-based job than an animal-based job, so yeah, something creative, hopefully. But obviously that's very saturated and hard to get into, but hopefully if I dedicated all my time to that would have been what happened. But I was pretty adamant on making YouTube work. Can you get evicted for having venomous snakes? I guess it's just really just whatever up to what your lease agreement says and the law of where your house is. Happy 9 years. What's been the greatest achievement or something that you've been most proud of since doing YouTube? Right now I'd probably just say 500,000 subs on YouTube, I guess. I don't know. YouTube has engulfed my life. How often do you get frogs and toads? People very rarely send them. We get the occasional cane toads, a couple Colorado River toads, literally like 2 Pac-Man frogs, but not too many. Do you know of a British, European, or non-USA version of Emerald Scales? I don't even know of a USA version of Emerald Scales. It's such a terrible model that I can't imagine anyone would replicate it, but I don't know any. What was the driving factor to get you to start YouTube? Well, I think this is a fitting video to talk about how I actually learned what YouTube was. I don't remember perfectly, but I think this is how it went. So YouTube was made in 2005. I didn't know about it till a couple years later, when I was around 7 or 8 years old, kind of in like the Charlie Bit Me era, whenever that was. So I mostly used YouTube for 2 things. One was I like to watch claymations like Wallace and Gromit, so there were a lot of clips of just claymations, and then I found Lego stop motions through that. And I also had speed stacks or sport stacks. I got those when I was like 7 years old, and so I would watch videos on like how to get better and stuff. So I discovered the channel called Speed Stacking Girl, who eventually uploaded this video.
Yes! Oh my god!
You might recognize that soundbite because it was then used by Skrillex.
Yes! Oh my god!
So it was through Speed Stacking Girl I discovered Skrillex. It was the first time I ever heard electronic music, and then I became obsessed with that for some reason. And so I then kind of got into the music side of YouTube. So by then I was using YouTube for music, entertainment, and tutorials, and it basically just was everything that I did. I would just watch YouTube. The Lego stop motions that I found through Wallace and Gromit inspired me to make my own Lego stop motions. I didn't realize just anyone could upload to YouTube, so finally a few years later I made a channel to upload my own Lego stop motions, and then I wanted to kind of make channels for all of my interests. So I ended up having my stop motion channel. I then made my own speed stacking channel, a skits channel, which was just hyper cringe, and a nature channel. So I was uploading to just all these channels at once, and the nature channel was NC Nature News, this one that I rebranded to GoHerping. So I was simultaneously making Lego videos and a couple nature videos, but I was mostly focused on the stop motions. I got kind of bored of sport stacking, so I kind of stopped that channel. The skits I realized were way too cringe and people made fun of me at school, so I got rid of that one. And then after a few years, this channel eventually hit like 50 subscribers, and I was like, wow, things are going pretty well. And I just kind of got addicted to YouTube at that point. It was my entire life. Oh, and also, how did the unboxing videos have an effect on your channel? Yeah, it's the biggest spike I've ever had on my channel. It was ridiculous. I feel like even if I start doing them again, there's no way they're gonna do that well again, which I want to, and I still will, but that was kind of a once-in-a-lifetime series that just happened to really go well, but we'll see what happens. What does your current setup for filming an audio look like, and how has it evolved? I actually found the camera I originally used for YouTube. It now retails for $9.95, but I never uploaded most of those videos. So yeah, it was just, I used whatever camera I could get access to. It was mostly just very cheap camcorders. I eventually switched to Canon, and then I switched to Lumix. Right now I'm using a Lumix GH5. Depends on what kind of video for audio. I'm literally just using the classic Blue Yeti that everyone makes fun of, but it's so simple. It's definitely not the best quality. I really don't know why people make fun of it so much. It's literally just a USB, you plug it in, and you're good. I don't have to have any audio mixers, no extra paraphernalia. It's so simple. For other videos, I use the Rode VideoMic Pro and the Rode wireless setup to use with the SmartLav Plus. So nothing fancy, it's all the very basic kind of beginner stuff. And then I just record the audio in Adobe Audition. Do you have a job outside of YouTube, and where do you get money to take care of so many animals? Primary source of income is the ads that you see on these videos, or if you have YouTube Red, I get a little bit of that money. I want to do a video about all my income sources, but definitely the biggest stream is literally just YouTube AdSense. Are there any reptiles you'd love to work with but haven't had the chance to yet? Not really. There's very little we haven't gotten. Really big snakes, venomous snakes, stuff like that we haven't gotten, but I'm not interested in that. Chameleons are kind of the only species I've literally never gotten. And a lot of people ask, why is there no chameleons? It's just, nobody's ever sent one. There's a couple in line right now that are just waiting for me to get a new space, so chameleons will be kind of the final common species that we haven't seen. How much you packin', big boy? How much you packin'? Oh, what is the stupid question anyone has ever asked you? Either this one or the previous one. Do you have a girlfriend? I never thought I'd give this answer in my life, but somehow yes. If I can do it, anyone can do it. Has any of your geckos ever dropped their tails, and if so, what happened? There's a few crested geckos I had to force the tail off of because they were necrotic, but I think that's it. Never actually had one drop. I think there were one or two that arrived with drop tails to customers, but none actually here. Do you have any tips for finding more affordable reptile enclosures and supplies, and what to look out for when purchasing? If it's advertised for reptiles, it's probably overpriced. If you could do anything or any job and be paid well enough, what would you like to do? I'm one of the people that think truly anything can be monetized and you can make a living off of it. Right now, probably just buying and driving cars. Is that an option? Not like actual like intense racing, but acquiring and having fun in cars would be pretty cool to do just all the time. Happy 9 years. Will you show your girlfriend? You don't have to if you don't feel comfortable. I mean, ultimately it's not my decision, but I'm pretty open, but I don't know. The people side of personal life I feel like is better when it's more private. I don't like seeing all the public relationships and stuff. What happened to breeding axolotls? I'd love to see the process. Yeah, we bred them. I sold a bunch, like 50 or something. Maybe not that many, but they just all sold out really fast. But we'll probably have axolotls again. Can you do a room tour? This is kind of the entire room. This is a small room. Welcome to the tour. Thank you for joining the tour. Birdies or blue tongues? Blue tongues. How and why did you start Emerald Scales, and was it a difficult process? Refer to this video, how much I made selling reptiles. Why do you never feature chameleon? Yeah, like I said, just have never gotten one. Nothing against them, but maybe someday. What's your favorite video to make? There's a lot that come to mind. A lot of the original vlog videos, calling a bunch of pet smarts, dumpster diving, and the unboxings are at the top of the list right now. Thoughts on the future? I'm optimistic. Do you actually hate Joe Biden?
And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down.
Yes. Why your brony is not common on the channel or shop? People just don't keep them that much. They're pretty rare and pretty expensive. Only have ever gotten one, but they're cool. They're one of my favorites. Why are you a 14-year-old with a Tesla? Why aren't you? Pineapple on pizza. Why? What is this question? I never understand this question. I've never tried it. I'm not going to. I'm not fulfilling anyone's wish of answering that question. Are you planning on doing any breeding in the future? No. Well, okay, the axolotls, but reptile-wise, no. There's just too many reptiles already. There's too many that need homes, and I don't want to contribute to the trade at all. What are your political views? I mean, I don't keep them secret. I just don't really bring it up on the channel. I mean, I grew up extremely left-leaning, but I'm pretty right-leaning now. Libertarian, I guess. On the political compass, depends on my mood when I take it, but normally I'm liberate. I'm kind of on that center line of center-right. In a nutshell, free market, free people, better world. Would you consider owning cockroaches as pets? No, nothing against it, but not for me. What's the stupidest and smartest purchases you've made among those years? Yeah, smartest, definitely some certain stocks. Shout out to Tesla. Stupidest, also stocks, but different stocks. The stocks that did not perform as well. What does Stan think about abortion? I really don't know, but I'm guessing he'd be like, it's okay if you eat it. Will you be making more Lego videos? Yeah, I think so. They don't perform that well, but I enjoy them, and so does a decent handful of people. So yeah, why not? What are the best pet invertebrates in your opinion? Whatever ones are listed on Emerald Scales at the time of watching this video. What's your opinion on those who hate you? I'm with any online hate. I'm never really offended myself. I'm never really bothered by it, but it's only when people hate the people, like the creators I really care about, that's when I get super defensive and super protective. So when can we get the animal control story? This year. See, I want to go so in detail that I'm gonna have to run it by a lawyer, so I need to find one that's on call and willing to literally just watch my videos for me and in return for money, I guess. Do you think you'll ever talk more about what's going on with reptile laws and restrictions like the New York shipping ban? I don't know. I really just don't have the energy. I try to adhere to laws, but pretty much any regulation usually has a pretty easy loophole, honestly, especially with animals. Have you ever ate any of your pets? I had to think just to be sure, but I have not eaten any of my pets. Where'd you think the channel would be after 9 years? I really don't. I think it's dumb to set goals that you can't control. Like, I usually had goals of how much content or how good of content to upload, but as a kid I really never cared about subs or views. I think that really played to my advantage because so many people now are constantly like, how do I get more subs, more views, etc. Everyone always just cares about that. I legitimately just truly never cared about that, and I just really enjoyed making the videos. And if anything, I would just focus on the monetization to make sure I could make enough to continue doing it. My goal is to make $100 a day doing whatever I liked doing, like as a kid. So that's $36,000 a year, which is, I mean, not a lot, but once I hit truly $100 a day in income, I was like, we did it, boys. Thankfully, I'm now above $100 a day, and as long as I stay above that, I think I'll stick to being self-employed. Do you consider yourself more of a YouTuber or a business owner? To consider yourself a business owner, I feel like you need to make a profit, so I'm definitely a YouTuber. Have you thought of owning something other than reptiles, such as a tarantula or centipede? Not for me, no. Animal-wise, I don't think so. How many chicken sandwiches do you eat on a yearly basis? I don't really eat, probably like 10? Not that many. How tall are you? I'm still growing. Last time I was measured, like actually officially at a doctor's appointment, which was a couple years ago, I was 5 3/4, but I'm still growing. I'm guessing I'm gonna be pushing 5, 7, or 8. I'm not going very high. What was your backup plan if YouTube and Emerald Scales didn't work? I don't know if you mean like right now what my backup plan is, but it'll really be just rely on my savings and use that to try and build something else. Hopefully let my portfolio grow enough that I can kind of work with that and I think I'd like to think I have enough skills that I could pick up some other side hustles, whether it's in-person work that I know how to do, like power washing, lawn mowing, stuff like that, or online, maybe something else. But previously, when I was like, well, I'm gonna make these big leaps and like not go to college and stuff, you can always just get a job, like a simple job that pays a small amount, and so you can build something else up. So yeah. Was it a hard decision to decide to do YouTube full-time? It was so gradual that it wasn't, because I started making like $100 a month when I was young, I don't know what age, somewhere in my teens, and that just very slowly built over time to where eventually it was enough. So it was so gradual, it was kind of just natural. It's not like I had to decide time to quit my job, because I never had a job. Have you thought about establishing a branch in the UK? No, too ridiculously complicated to even establish something here. I need to make one spot successful before I even think about expanding like even a state over, so no. Como estas? Please don't swear on my channel. First reptile you caught in the wild? Amphibian, it was probably green tree frogs, I'm guessing, because like when I was 4 or 5, they'd always be on the side of the house, like the vinyl paneling. Reptile, probably a green anole. When will we get a day in the life of Stan video? I mean, in the 10-minute videos you see Stan's entire day. Sorry if this is a depressing question, but do you ever get bored, uninspired, or fed up with YouTube? Does it take a lot of your time? Yeah. I mean, I'm very moody. My mood goes up and down all the time, where I'm like, I hate this, I love this, I hate this, I love this. But like just about any channel you've probably watched, you've heard the term burnout, and I'm feeling it. But I think you can tell through certain content when I am just truly bored and uninspired. And I want to do different topics. I've dabbled with different topics on the channel, but kind of the more I enjoy making the video, the worse it performs, with unboxings being the outlier, because those perform great and I love them. I just can't do them because I can't take in boxes. So yeah, I mean, all the time. But not enough to stop doing it. But also I need an income. What race do you choose in Skyrim? I've never played Skyrim, but I like the soundtrack. Sauce or dry rub wings? Right now it's Louisiana rub, so dry. Which animal did you have the hardest time saying goodbye to from Emerald Scales? There were a couple leopard geckos, a bearded dragon. The Abronia was actually kind of hard to ship off, but not too many were like extremely painful. How's your Axie doing? Will we make another axolotl video? Yeah, Wooby was surprisingly fine. She's just tubbed right now, so just lots of water changes, and I don't know when the last time I showed her actually. But we have a handful of axolotls because some people sent some in, and they get bred, so hopefully we'll breed again. Wooby Woo was the producer of the first axolotl, so right now there's a bunch of little baby Wooby Woos who are probably all grown up around the country. What's your opinion on marriage? I'm young, so I'm sure it'll change. Right now I don't like the idea of marriage. I'm sure this opinion doesn't really make sense, but I feel like marriage makes too much of an artificial bond. Not for me right now, but who knows how I'll feel in 1 to 20 years. What's your least favorite thing about your Tesla, or what would you change? I love the car. My next car will also be a Tesla. I'm hoping for a Model S, but the thing is, it's such a newish thing. Like, they've only been around a few years, which is very new for a car company, and they have some of the best, most unique, most interesting features, but that also comes with some of the most annoying, confusing bugs and issues. They just need to work on production quality badly. My bumper just fell off randomly. I see a lot of cars with issues with their head and tail lights. People I've talked to definitely have a lot of panel gap issues, so they just need to fix up all those little details. I still recommend them and I still love it, but you just never know what's going to happen. Also, superchargers, they're a lot better about it now, but I did in the crowded areas like Charlotte, North Carolina, I'd have to wait in line to charge because there would be like 20 Teslas traveling through Charlotte. But that's way better now. They've built a lot more chargers. Also, in the winter, the range depletes a lot, which kind of sucks. It can deplete from 1/3 to 1/2. My car has 250 miles of range, which can drop to like 180 or something in the winter. The newer ones have way more range. They have 400 and 500 miles, so that'll definitely be nicer. What's something you're most proud of, either in the hobby and life, or something that you're grateful for besides your fans? That's a very wholesome question. Well, I don't know if you mean like selfishly, like what I'm proud of myself or proud of with others, but with myself, I think I'm happy I'm able to be generally pretty self-motivated and just kind of adhere to a goal or to a task that I actually want to do, because if I don't want to do it, I can't do it at all. But if I want to do it, I think I'm pretty good at getting it done or getting it figured out. I get frustrated, but I'm pretty good at working around that, so I don't think I'm too bad at managing like difficult or unexpected tasks. What's the thing that motivates you every morning? Well, I don't usually get up in the morning, but I think just kind of long-term goals. I usually like to set like one material goal and then a financial goal and then just like a long-term goal, because I don't know what my biggest passions ever will be, but I just want to have all the resources available to do that. So yes, mentioning Tesla. So material goal is a new Tesla. That's just, it's dumb, but it's what I use. Financial goal, I just like to make sure it's more each year and I manage my money better and invest more each year. And then long term, yeah, just making sure that I have the option and ability to kind of do whatever I want when the time comes and dedicate myself to any project I want. So just knowing that I don't know what I'll want to do, but once I do, I'll be grateful that I set myself up to be able to accomplish that. How wholesome and deep is that answer? How do you feel about keeping pet reptiles now versus just starting out? I am much more pessimistic on it. I'm such a massive amount, such a huge chunk of the animals are just neglected and cared for so badly that I have a more and more strong feeling of how selfish the reptile trade is, and I hate it more every year. Every week, I hate it more every week. So yeah, I was much more enthusiastic because ignorance is bliss, I guess, and it kind of sucks. Can you fit your fist in your mouth? I feel like I would do this on camera, it's bad. No, not even close. Can anyone do that? Don't answer that. If you had to sleep in a bed made of substrate for the rest of your life, what substrate would you pick? It can't be something that I can inhale. I feel like coconut core. Not the fiber, but the core. No, sphagnum moss. Does that count? If so, sphagnum moss. 9 years ago, did you ever see yourself where you are today? I don't think I'd be too surprised. It was a very outlandish and far-off idea, but I saw it to be possible. 9 years ago, I probably thought I'd be in college right now, but what happened to your Discord? I deleted it like 2 years ago. Was it 2 years ago? I don't like managing communities. It was a pain. It was too exhausting and just a waste of time for me. I just hate Discord, but I'm glad some people like it, but servers are not for me. What's your favorite school memory? Does leaving count? Why don't you work out, you little wimp? You can barely hold an anaconda. I've never held an anaconda, so I'm not sure if I can. Right, I'm working on gaining weight. I'm getting a tummy here. Because it's always been hard for me to gain weight, so since focusing on it, I've gained 15 pounds, and once I can double that, I think that's when I'll be comfortable doing more fitness, because when I exercise now, I just lose weight too fast, and I get way too skinny. So once I've got a little more fat on me, I can finally start working on my little fitness goals. You watch anime? No, just YouTube. Chick-fil-A? Yeah, it's pretty good. I eat it probably too much. If you could save one species from extinction, what would it be? Probably honeybees. Is there any way you can tell a reptile is content or happy? I think it's more about picking up signs of stress, and if there's no signs of stress, then it's probably content. When will you get a Dodge Hellcat to replace the Tesla? I just don't enjoy the noise. They're so bulky. Muscle or performance car-wise, I'm pretty sure Dodge would be one of my last choices. What do you think of nerd? I think Kevin's kind of a silly Billy. Have you ever thought about just not caring about reptiles anymore? Like, have you ever gotten so overwhelmed that you have thoughts like these, but you don't act on it? Weekly? It's something I do more out of obligation or a feeling of obligation than for fun. I really want to be able to keep the things going, but just have other people do it. I want to move on to other projects that I will still record and work on, but the sooner I can offload it, the better. What inspired you to take in rehab and find reptiles new homes? Well, it started, I talked about this in other videos, which you can watch about building emerald scales, but it started as a means to have another source of income. And then, like I said, make it a passive income by, like I just said, offloading it to other people. But over time, we realized that there was a better model that is much more marketable and is more fun and doesn't involve breeding and creating more animals for the trade. So as like the moment we started, it was a natural transition into helping animals, which then became a lot more satisfying as well. You have a little over 500,000 followers. Can you tell us about a time you were out in public and someone recognized you? Well, I don't leave the house that much. When I do leave the house, I'd say I get recognized once a week or so, which is really weird because I am about as socially inept as you can get. The ones that stand out, someone approached me in a parking lot at 4 a.m. at a 24-hour Harris heater. I think one or two in public bathrooms, which isn't my favorite place to get recognized. Usually it's just employees at stores, Targets, a lot of Best Buys for some reason. pet stores, pretty much any pet store, managers, owners. But feel free to say hi. Just know that you're probably catching me off guard. And also, there's a lot of you, I know, you're stalking me around Target or whatever. There's no reason you'd walk around the same aisle 4 times with a single item in your hand on your phone, matching up the face to make sure it's me. It's pretty obvious. Half of them do come up, the other half don't, but I know if you see me in person and don't say anything. If I'm paying attention, I'm probably not though. How long does it take to edit, and how many shots do you have that you don't use? I discard a lot of videos of shots. I mean, the majority don't get used, but I keep them all. I need more hard drives. Editing for me, it really depends on the video. It's anywhere between, like the unboxings, for example, would take me 6 to 10 hours to edit probably. But I do offload some of the editing, and I only edit about a quarter of the videos now. So I can just do the ones that I want to and that are more fun. And then the ones I don't really feel like editing, I can not do. Who is your favorite other reptile YouTuber? I legitimately have not watched a channel truly in 3 or 4 years that's based around reptiles. It's just, I have enough other reptile related things in my life that I don't need to then take a break from reptiles to watch reptile content. So I truly don't know anything about any of them. What's the worst drug you've done? I have not done any illegal drugs. I am a clean boy. Only prescribed drugs that I use as I'm supposed to, but of those, I really hated Zoloft. I regretted taking that. It just felt weird. How old were you when you started Emerald Scales? I was 17, 4 years ago. When are you gonna do another unboxing reptile video? When I can take in reptiles. I need a house first. Do you see yourself still owning reptiles in 10 years? Probably not any new reptiles, but whoever else I still have. Who's your favorite character from any show? I've only watched a couple shows recently, and of those it would be Bobby.
Could you buy me some lottery tickets?
Dad! I am a 12-year-old boy! I am this child's nephew!
Why are you named Alex? Honestly, I don't know. It's a pretty random name. It's also not my legal name, though, so yeah. Why do you sound like Solar Sands? I was just watching his videos. I don't think I sound like him. Worst bite from a reptile? Franklin the Red-Eared Slider holds on quite strongly. Also, I hate carpet python bites, so nothing crazy, nothing risky. Or I guess the hognose, because I react to it pretty strongly. I basically passed out. Do you relate more to Croissant Kid or Jimmy Neutron? Did you just call Carl Croissant Kid? Can you put some respect on Mr. Weezer's name, please?
Croissant.
How is Stan still alive? I don't know. He's physically, I feel like he's improved. He's aging in reverse, I guess. What do you think of people who try to force a vegan diet on their pet because I don't want to hurt animals? No comment. Do you smoke weed? I do not. It's also not legal here, but even if it was, I highly doubt I would. Because it just, similar to alcohol, it seems like one of those things that just like lowers your productivity and lowers your cognitive abilities, and my abilities are already so low that I don't need them any lower, please. What's your favorite TV show right now, and what music genres do you enjoy? Like I said, I really just watch YouTube, but recently I did finally start watching King of the Hill, because I'd always seen clips, just like little 10-second clips out of context, and I finally decided to watch episode 1, and now I'm on season 3, so.
Loud is not allowed. What the? Loud is not allowed?
Adventure Time's still at the top of the list, but it is pretty funny. As a kid, I always thought it was like inappropriate and like a dirty adult show, but it's actually really wholesome and cute, and I like it. Music-wise, Odessa, Skrillex, whatever they're considered. Yes, I'm still in the cringy 2010s, but I also really like the Cyberpunk soundtrack, so whatever that would be considered. I guess Cyberpunk. I don't know, just electronic or EDM or something. But also I started like unironically listening to classical when cleaning, and it's pretty motivating. I just don't like lyrics. What's your favorite part about having YouTube as a job? 2 very simple answers. No alarm clock, ever, period, and very little socializing, but just being able to make my own schedule and having more control over my income, because I can never predict how much a video will make money-wise, but knowing that if I post less, I'll make less, but I can predict that, and if I post more, I'll most likely make more, and I can work harder if desired. So yes, it's not a thing I can take a break from for like a month, even though it sounds pretty nice sometimes, but it's worth it since there's still so much flexibility. Biggest animal you've been sent? There was the red iguana in that unboxing video. He's probably him. What were you gonna name your channel before GoHerping, or have you ever changed your name? Originally it was NC Nature News, as many of you know, North Carolina Nature News. I considered just changing it to my name, but personally, my memory is so bad with just all these YouTube channels that have just like generic American male names. I get them all mixed up and confused. So I like GoHerping because it's really weird and more distinct. House Shadow, that's my black rat snake. I made the mistake of not handling her for a very long time, so she's grumpy again. She's kind of just completely reverted to how she was when I first had her, where she just hates being touched. I might just do a video just handling her just to see what happens. Do you even like your audience? Yeah, I think it's a pretty solid audience. It's one of those love-hate relationships where it's mostly hate on the outside, but love on the inside. Is there any comment that stayed with you throughout your 9 years on YouTube? That's a really good question. Someone a long time ago said that I am an acquired taste, which I thought that was a really creative compliment, if it was a compliment. I took it as one. What are your favorite video games? It had been so long since I had played any racing games, and I finally got a steering wheel and pedals, so when I do get the time recently, I've just played Forza. And also virtual reality. I like Beat Saber, Population 1 a little bit, and Super Hot, which I already finished it, but it's fun to replay levels. How old are you? I am turning 21 in a month. How about that? What's the weirdest thing you received out of your fan mail? Nothing too weird. I was gonna do, like, I actually filmed unboxing like the fan mail and stuff. There was some creative and like nice artwork and stuff, but there wasn't enough to make an interesting video, so I'm still saving that. If more of it comes in, then I can finally do a video there. But I in my recent video, A Day in the Life, someone sent me, like, mailed me a question about their animal, and that was funny. Nothing crazy though, nothing illegal. I've heard a lot of YouTubers say there's more money at Twitch. Ever think about trying that? I'm not going to Twitch. Twitch is a garbage platform. Nothing against, okay, some of the creators suck too, but YouTube, which is owned by Google, has really refined monetization policies. It's not perfect, but they are so much more consistent than Twitch, who is owned by Amazon and has no idea how to manage it. I'd be so scared having a living on Twitch. It seems so insecure. Money-wise, I'd say most YouTubers make way too much money. Everyone's like, oh, YouTube doesn't pay their creators enough. No, YouTubers pay their creators too much. Keep in mind, this is a platform where you can upload unlimited content of any size. Normally you pay for that, but instead YouTube pays you 55% of all revenue. And YouTube doesn't make that much money or that much profit as a company. YouTube deserves a lot of criticism and needs to work on themselves a lot, but I also think that a lot of times they aren't quite appreciated enough. So yeah, because I just feel bad for a lot of Twitch streamers with those garbage policies. In one of your early Q&As, you said in 5 years you'd see yourself in a Tesla full of cats. Has that happened? Where do you see yourself 5 years now? I guess a couple years later I ended up getting a Tesla and I adopted a new cat, so I guess that's done. In 5 years from now, I'm hoping, I'm so tired of moving. I've moved 7 or 8 times, and I just want to, I want to be working on really cool, really hard projects, but I just want to be settled in a physical location. So this year, hopefully it'll be the start. I'm sure it'll take a year, maybe a couple years to settle in, but in 5 years, I just want to have a nice, secure, comfortable home that I can live in and chill in and work really hard in. And then from there, I'm sure I'll move again. I don't think I'll live in the same house for my entire life, but I'd say 7 years. I'd see myself most likely living in the next house for like 7 years and then finding something different. So that's my guess, and I'd be happy with that. We'll see how it goes. Maybe I'll go bankrupt and have to foreclose my home. Are you a Christian? I'm a godless flesh bag who is going to someday perish, turn into dirt, and my consciousness will completely disappear from existence, and I will forever be in a dark void for the rest of eternity. What's your favorite reptile for children, if there are any? I don't know about that. Favorite body part? My hand, I guess. My right hand. My right hand. I want to start my own business selling reptiles in the future. Any advice? Don't have the actual profit linked to the reptile sales. Make sure you are making money in other avenues, if you ask me. Whether it's selling products around those reptiles or using the reptiles to promote some other product or something, just Having the physical reptiles themselves be the only source of money, in my opinion, just doesn't really work. Or maybe I'm just bad at it. As someone who's been making content on the internet for part of their childhood, how would you describe the landscape for making videos has changed over your time on this platform? I mean, it's changed a lot. If you're talking about on YouTube, I don't think it's too shabby. It's huge, but it's not as bad as I would have expected. Like, thank God it's not like TikTok or Instagram. Instagram is so commercialized. Twitter is so toxic. Reddit is so just bad. TikTok is just so artificial and so focused on very short attention spans like mine. But YouTube, although I hate the trending page, I hate what YouTube pushes, it still has a very nice dynamic in my opinion. I think it's still the best platform. Hopefully it'll stay like that. We'll see. If not, we'll enjoy it together while it lasts. Is pee stored in the balls? As a kid, I knew it wasn't stored there, but I did think it was filtered through there. If it was completely unrelated to reptiles, what kind of content would you make full-time? If I could make any content, it would probably be electric car-based, photography-based, or like finance-based, whether it's like side hustles, making money, managing money, learning how to invest, something either money, car, or media related like photos. Do you think animal scales will expand into more exotics or just be reptiles? My current plan is to shrink to fewer species because I think it'll be way more efficient, way easier, and actually be able to help more animals. And then from there, maybe go back up to every species, but reptile wise, I don't have any plans for other exotics, especially with regulations like birds is crazy and complicated. Invertebrates I'm not interested in, and mammals, way too complicated for me. Do you ever plan on going to college? No, definitely not. There's no career I'm interested in that needs a degree. That's the only time I see college being even potentially worth the money and time. I'm just so bad at school. My memorization, my reading comprehension, my focus is all just so garbage. Even if I wanted to, I wouldn't be able to. But to be honest, I'm a little tempted to get my Class A commercial driver's license for no reason at all. I don't know if I will. It would take a few months. It just seems kind of cool. And will you ever drive a combustion engine car? Not as a daily driver. I still see electric sedans being my daily driver. But I'd love multiple cars. And if I really had the budget, I'm sure there would be at least one or two combustion engine cars in there. In my dream world, a Porsche or McLaren, but probably not. I don't think I'd actually like them as much as I think I would. And if the Tesla Cybertruck is either too expensive for me or doesn't come out anytime soon, it's possible I'll need a van of some sort, like a Ford Transit or something like that. What's your credit score? Not actually sure. Right now it's 757. I'm okay with that. What do you think are the best career paths for people interested in reptiles? Others may disagree, but I really truly think that reptiles are best as a hobby or an interest on the side, or just like your biggest passion that is not linked to your livelihood or your income or whatever. Obviously I'm a hypocrite in saying that, but that sounds pretty nice to me, and it's still what I would recommend right now. What YouTubers or streamers do you watch, and who's your favorite YouTuber? PewDiePie's been my favorite for a long time. I haven't watched him recently actually, but he's always been near the top of my list. Let's see, I'll go through my subscriptions. Dreamwave is a music channel. Andrew Hales and Lav, LAHWF, he's one of my favorite people on the platform. He followed me on Twitter. I don't know why, but I was very flattered by that and fangirled a little bit. Anxiety War, who catches child predators. He's a great channel. Chubby Emu, I watched him before he started making the medical videos. I really loved his old fitness videos and his old kind of, not psychology videos, but just him talking about life. I still love his medical videos, but I do mostly rewatch his super old ones that I recommend. Drama Alert, I'll be honest, I've watched Drama Alert for years. Keem, I have trouble not liking him. Graham Stephan, I don't watch him as much now. I definitely learned a lot from him. We got Jimmy here, also it's Wednesday My Dudes guy. He's one of the few people that came from Vine that actually makes really good content. He also followed me on Twitter, also very flattered. I don't know why, but thank you. Report of the Week has been in like my top 3 for years. Still love his videos, and his podcast is even better, so you should check that out. And a lot of police videos like Police Activity, Real World Police. I really like watching body cam videos and stuff. And some car channels, so that's about it. I remember watching new videos when it was NC Nature News. Crazy how long it's been. Impressive. I had 600 subscribers when I changed the name, so truly one of the first. My question is, what in the world happened to that bird Sylvester had? He he killed it. What's your favorite Lego theme? It's gotta be Lego City. Hey! Do we actually get an OnlyFans at 10 million subs? I don't remember saying that. Did I say that? Do you think the reptile hobby is toxic? Yeah, not the most toxic. Definitely not the least toxic. Is Emerald Scales it, or do you have / want to start other products or companies? Well, Emerald Scales is just the one that I publicize on this channel. No, it's kind of a starting point. It's one of my first. We'll see if it, I wouldn't consider it a success or a failure at the moment. Somewhere in between, like right on the line of both. No, it's teaching me a lot, and it will continue to teach me a lot, and I'll use that for tons of other projects, hopefully. Did you go to school for business? How are you so educated? I don't know if I'm educated. I did not go to school for business. I left school when I was 17. YouTube, it's just YouTube and trying things. Figuring out something I want to do, watch as many videos on it as I can find, and then doing it, and then watching more videos, doing it, trying things, doing, etc. Yeah, I'm a very bad learner when it comes to listening, reading, writing, anything. I just have to do it and figure it out until I can. What reptile has the most interesting eyes? You've worked with a bunch of species, so do you have any thoughts on how cool the eyes are? I think cave gecko's eyes stand out to me a lot. Why won't you cut your hair? I mean, I showered before filming, so it looks pretty short right now. Where do you get your frozen feeders for snakes? I have a video reviewing a bunch of sites. Right now I just use Perfect Prey, and sometimes Big Cheese Rodent. Pretty much any site. I'm not too picky. A lot of the big sites are pretty good, in my opinion. Did you know that Stan might be the oldest living bearded dragon right now? Definitely not. He's only, what, 12 something? I mean, he's on the older end, but I highly doubt he's close to the oldest. What's the first animal you ever took care of? Probably a hamster. And I don't think kids should have hamsters. What camera do you recommend to buy for an amateur video maker? Well, I think it definitely depends on what kind of content you want to make. So for video, I'd say it's really like, are you doing talking heads? Are you going to be outside, inside, interviewing, whatever? But for the most part, if you just simply want an all-purpose video camera, I'd say it's completely based on your budget. If you can do like the $400 to $800 range, I'd recommend the Canon lineup of like, I used to use the 700D, which I loved, or the T5i, it's the same camera. So there's the T3, 4, 5, 6, anything that you can afford there. I love that lineup with just a simple 18 to 55 millimeter lens. If you've got a ton of budget, I would say like one of the Sony A7 or something, but I haven't gotten to that yet. I'm still sticking with the Panasonic at the moment. So I'd say anything that has completely manual features, so you can really learn and figure out the shutter and aperture, ISO, all of that. And I'd say don't be afraid to get used tech. Some people are scared to get used technology because it could have issues, and it can, but I've just saved so much using eBay for so much and getting a lot of refurbished items. I think it's worth it. Do you ever consider a different hairstyle? But I've grown my hair out to like my shoulders before. I was much younger, but I don't think that would work on me now. I am very curious to see how my hair looks like super short. I feel like it's not thick enough and I would just look like I'm balding, but I want to see it like really close to my scalp, but I might regret it. I like keeping it simple, easy to wash, easy to deal with. Don't have to put anything in it, just soap, conditioner, rinse it and dry it. Does it now take you less time to produce a video due to additional team members and experience compared to when you started 9 years ago? Or does it take longer due to complexity? That's a pretty good question. It really depends on the content. If you're talking about videos for this channel, I'd say I'm actually more efficient because I used to just have trouble because I had to learn the software. I started with iMovie, and it has few features, which is nice to learn, but it also makes things take longer. So I've become much more efficient, but it does, I guess, take longer. I have very little help right now. In the description of each video, there's a credit if I don't edit the video. I'm editing this one. Why'd your love for reptiles die off? Really to the point with that question. Interest in other things, learning about other things, a change in passion, biting off more than I could chew, general boredom, burnout, taking in too many. Need I continue? Do you intend on becoming a veterinarian? And what other areas of study would you look into for what you're currently doing? Definitely not going to be a vet. Yeah, I don't really plan on pursuing any extreme studies when it comes to reptiles. I guess my previous question kind of explains that a little bit. Also, pretty much anything a vet knows you can just find online, honestly. Only thing you can't do is prescribe yourself things for the animals and have access to certain technology like x-rays, blood work, and stuff like that. Would you ever live stream? I actually used to live stream more often. It's just kind of stressful. I have trouble with it. See, I do stuff like that, but I can't cut it out if I'm live streaming, which isn't the biggest deal, but it's anxiety inducing. So I'll probably live stream some more in the future, but right now I'll stick to being able to edit myself to however I want to look. Have you ever had a job? No. I mean, not really a real job. I have a video on my first job, but it was actually just an unpaid volunteership, but it felt like a job, if you want to watch that. Other than that, I just did little side hustles like dog walking, pet sitting. Do you feel like you could ever get burnt out of keeping reptiles? Yeah, I guess not everyone has the memo. I am burnt out. Do you plan on taking a break anytime soon? Honestly, you deserve it. I'm not sure what break you mean. I can't really take a break from the animal care because they'll probably die. I can't take a break from YouTube, which I don't want to take a break from YouTube. I just want to mix up my content more, but I do have to make sure that content does well enough to sustain my bills, like, because I have to cover all of the bills that I have to pay for the animal care and just rent and stuff, so like that. Luckily, my cost of living is not too high. It's really just rent, food, and the animals. Like, my car's all good and stuff. I don't have to worry about that. Okay, the biggest expense is literally I'm just so bad at cooking that I have to order food. But yeah, I would take more breaks and I'd mix up content more if my money was not linked to it. And I'm hoping over time, as I'm actively doing, I'm working on other income streams that can help supplement, so I don't have to worry about the YouTube money as much, and I can have more fun with it. And the last question for the 9-year anniversary Q&A, Nathaniel asks, how are you? I'm pretty good. I'm honestly pretty demotivated the last couple weeks. Nothing drastic, but I don't have my usual amount of self-motivation as normal. I've just been kind of taking it a bit easier and eating a lot of food to gain some weight, and you didn't expect this much detail in the answer, but overall, I'm pretty good. I've been better, but I've been a lot worse, so thanks for asking. That's it for the Q&A. Hopefully you found it interesting. You probably learned at least a couple things in here. It was a lot longer than I anticipated. Or if you've just been here for 9 months, 9 days, 9 minutes, I appreciate it. Thanks for sticking around. Let me know what you want to see, and hopefully I'll continue to morph content into what I enjoy making and what you enjoy clicking. That's it for this video. You can check out the other Q&As. You can check out a bunch of other stuff I have to offer in the description. Got some merch. New merch is on the way shortly, hopefully. And it was legitimately fun answering all these questions. So Q&As they're nice, they're chill, and I like them. That's it for this video. I'm Alex, and thanks for watching.